You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay on Newstalk 980.
Irv, thanks for holding over the break. Much appreciated.
No problem, Dave.
I want to get back. I want to touch a little bit more on the month you had. You had a great month of March, 12 homes, 7 with multiple offers on them. And you were saying the average agent, as you kind of take a look, they might sell 16, 17 homes a year. So, yeah, you're kind of racking up the numbers as usual, which is what you do. Let's talk about those multiple offers, because this is one of the challenges, and we touched on it very briefly before the break. People who, for sale by owners, and to try to create that auction effect or that multiple offer, very, very difficult. They just don't have access to the buyers.
No, they don't. And, we talked about the problems that for sale by owners have. It's an exposure problem, it's bargain hunters, it's buyers, it's negotiation, and it's liability. And each one of those problems can cost the money. A top agent can and should solve those problems, and by solving those problems, they save them the money and actually make money. Even though they are paying an agent to do this, in the end, they will net more.
And it's what you have left in your jeans that counts.
Sure.
Okay, now I know we've touched on this before. You had 7 homes that had multiple offers.
That's
so
right.
I'm assuming now we're talking minimum 14 offers, possibly more altogether.
I think one of those properties had 3 offers, so I think we had 15 offers on those 7 properties.
So you got 15 offers in.
Yeah.
And here, my turn to ask $64,000 question. How many of the agents representing the buyers showed up to present their offer?
This just and it's you like to push my buttons. It's a hot topic with me because it just drives me crazy, the lack of buyer representation. If there's one tip I can give a buyer in the upcoming months, if you have an agent or you're hiring an agent, you point blank ask them how they handle the offer. Do they present it? Do they sell the seller on their offer? And get in front of that seller and the other agent to try and get their offer accepted. One agent showed up. One, and I actually asked her to show up.
This is multiple offers coming in, and one agent shows up.
No. Yeah.
How did she do for her buyer?
Fantastic. She was a newer agent, I think 1 or 2 years in the business. Showed up on time. Showed up physically. Showed up mentally, which always helps. Well-dressed, very polite, very organized. Sat down, and she told me she was a little bit nervous. She didn't do this all the time. Sat down, presented her offer, defended the price that her buyers wrote, good deposit, the chattels, explained where the buyers are coming from, sold the seller on her offer. Also, my seller had lived in the property for almost 50 years and was very concerned who was buying the property, as many sellers are.
And there's an emotional attachment to your home. You want to see it going to a good home, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, exactly. So they had questions for her, and it was a family, and she sold them on the family, and they're going to look after the house. And that's important to some people. And we took the offer. We didn't counter it. And the other agent who had the offer, I told them both that they were competing, and told the other agent that this agent was turning up. Didn't make a difference. Wow. So if you're a buyer, do you really have representation from an agent who can't actually drive over and present an offer for you and sell the seller on giving you the counter offer or accepting it?
And in some cases, this is potentially the dream home for the buyer. And for someone to lose out on that perfect home for themselves and the family because their agent couldn't be bothered to turn up to present an offer?
And a lot of these buyers don't know that's happening. They
just assume it's being taken care of somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is interesting. Should we talk a little bit about for sale by owners?
Let's get into that, because I do want to touch on that. And, one of the things I look at, and you mentioned it before too, the home selling through agents, 97.3% of listed price,
Sure.
full price. That is so difficult to do if you're doing a for sale by owner. And how can you even know what the stats are?
Well, after you put up your sign, get it on the website, and open your house up to a bunch of non-qualified people, you basically sit around and wait and guess what happened to those people that went through your house, and then keep dropping the price. And that's really the way it is. And you're not sure it was price because you don't get that feedback. So it's a real problem. And we talked about exposure, and this week, one of the things I want to touch on is buyers and why for sale by owners don't get to the best buyers. Of the 12 sales I had in the month of March, 11 came directly from agents. And many of those properties that sold were next door, next block, 2 blocks away from for sale by owners that those agents did not show the for sale by owners because they don't want to deal with them. Nothing wrong with the for sale by owner. If they have an opportunity to deal with me or a for sale by owner, I think most of those agents would rather deal with me because they know what I'm doing. Or I know what I'm doing.
There's no muss, no fuss, no bother. It's business. Take care
Less
of it.
liability,
Yep.
less work, and so that's the problem. So the question I always ask a for sale by owner, why would a buyer ever come to you on their own when they can hire the best agent in the city
No cost.
at no
to them.
cost? One, is they're a bargain hunter. 2, they've been to several agents and they can't get qualified, so they go searching on their own. The best buyers are serious and in a hurry, and they don't try and chase down the for sale by owner to see when they might be able to get in the house. If you're transferred from out of town and you have a 2-day shopping trip, you're not going to chase down a for sale by owner who has to run home and then is in the house making you nervous, telling you all about the fine points of their house. And, often for sale by owners are like amateur salespeople. They talk too much. They're fast talkers. And most people know that when somebody is a fast talker, they don't usually trust them.
They get a little nervous.
No, they do. And the seller just is emotionally involved, and they can't operate the same way as professional agents do.
Bottom line, you will get someone, a for sale by owner, more money for their home. They will net more money in their pocket. You've got the numbers to prove it. You've shown it time and time again.
We do it every day of the week.
Website is a great resource for you. You can get more information on Irv and some of the questions you should be asking, some of the things you should be looking for, the information you need to gather as a seller or as a buyer. www.irvsells.ca. That's irvsells.ca. Or you can call Irv. 790-3753, 790-3753. Your chance to turn the key with Irv Tremblay. You've been listening to Inside Real Estate. Irv Tremblay with Century 21.
On Newstalk 980.